Okay, so now we're getting into the implementation of our classes and objects. And now I will create a file called a class. So we're going to go into the package name. We'll right click and say new, and we'll choose the Java class and we'll give it a name. So I'm going to create a human class. I'll call it human. And inside we can say, remember, a human can have attributes and it can also have actions or methods. So we'll start with the attributes. Remember, we spoke about the eye color. So the person can have an eye color. The person can have a body weight. The person can have a body height. So as you can see, we're getting some errors here. Cannot resolve symbol eye color because obviously we'll have to represent this as a data type or in a data type or with a data type. So the eye color would use a string, right? Because you can either have a red or blue or whatever the color is. It will be a word. And the body weight, we'd represent that with a double, as well as the height. And we can have also our methods. So think of verbs as methods. If you don't know what a verb is, look it up on Google. It's very simple. So we can have public, static, void. I'm not going to include static. I'm going to include it later on to explain to you what the difference is. But for now, I'm not going to include static. I'm just going to say public void and the name of that person. Sorry, the name of the verb or the attribute or the method. So say the person can walk. Sorry for saying attribute. I didn't mean to. So the person can walk, and we can just output something that says walking. And we'll do the same for, sorry for this. Public void talk. The person can talk, and we can output talking. Okay, so now the person can walk and the person can talk. So what is a class exactly? A class is not the actual object. This is the blueprint. This is like the outline. This illustrates how a human should behave. So a human can have the eye color. A human can have a body weight and a body height. A human can walk and can talk. And then here we would instantiate an object, or we would create the object and give it the actual values that they're supposed to be having. So as you can see here, I'm not giving it a value. I'm not saying this person's eye color is red. No, I'm not doing that because we're not supposed to be doing that here. Even though you can, but you're not supposed to be doing that. So person can do all of those, and here we would instantiate that object in the main method, because remember, in our Java code, we should have a main method in all of our programs. You can't run any Java code without the main method. It's essential. So I'm going to try and call these methods in here. So we're trying to make this person walk or talk. So how do we do that? We can say human, and then we give it a name. I'm just gonna call it obj, and say new, or I'm just gonna say h1 and say new human, like that. That's how you instantiate an object. I'm going to comment that down here. Instantiate an object, and here we say h1, and then when we say h1 dot, we get access to all the methods and attributes that we have inside this human class. So we can say walk, and when we run this, it's supposed to perform whatever is inside the code block of this main method, of this walk method. And as you can see, since we're using the walk method, it's highlighting, or it's changing the color to yellow. And here as output, we get walking because we have given the Java the instruction to create a method called walk and output walking as a result of that method being called. So we can also call the talk method, and the person will do the exact same thing, or they will be doing whatever is inside that code block. So if we go there, we get this talk. So now the person is talking. And we can also change the attributes of the person. We can give that person the attributes like eye color, but not like that. We supposed to say h1 dot eye color is equal to, say, red. And we can also change another attribute like body weight. Remember, this would be a double, so we'd give it something like 120. And also for weight, we can do that. Say that person weighs about 70 kilograms. So we just say 70, and then when we print that, when we try to run this code, we're not going to get any output because we're not outputting anything. We're just giving them values. We can do a lot of things with these depending on what the program specification is. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to create a talk method. What do I have it? Okay, I have a talk method. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to give this human a name first. So we'll say string name. So we want the person to introduce themselves when we invoke this talk method. Hey, my name is, we can concatenate that with this name attribute down here. My name is name, and we can say full stop, I weigh, and say I weigh body weight. Just gonna bring that to the next line. You can say I weigh body weight kilograms, and we will say my height is body height. So the weight is in kilograms, right? And the height will be in centimeters. And then when we call this talk method, we supposed to be getting something like, we're supposed to be getting something like, hey, my name is Null, I weigh 70 kilograms, and etc. So why is the name null? The name is null because we didn't set the name of that person to whatever they're supposed to be. We can give this person a name of Kevin, just like that. And the height, we didn't set the height, right? Yeah, we didn't set the height. Okay, this can be height, and this will, yeah, I made a mistake there. But anyway, we will be getting something like, hey, my name is Kevin, I weigh 70 kilograms, and my height is 120 centimeters. So you can see why that is useful. I didn't add the color, but if you want to, you can add it. You can add the eye color. So that's why objects and classes are very useful. If you want to use them, just practice. Just think of anything you can think of and just work with them, play around with them. And I'll see you on the next lecture.